So we can start with Mangalachar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Oh my Lord.
You are the very personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is obviously destroyed. The Mangalachar of the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as the irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. From the darkness of ignorance, and the spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
So, dear devotees, I ask for all of your blessings. So, I ask for all of your blessings. I can speak something about it, and hope today I'm able to inspire you all to do more devotional service, or whatever comes to my mouth by Krishna's mercy, may it inspire you to go more deeper in your devotional service. Hare Krishna. Yes.
When the Lord heard Bali Maharaj was performing Ashwamedha sacrifice under the patronage of Brahmanas belonging to the Bhrigu dynasty, the Supreme Lord, who is full in every respect, proceeded there to show his mercy to Bali Maharaj. By his way, he pushed down the earth with every step.
While engaged in performing the sacrifice in the field known as Bhrigu on the northern bank of the Narmada River, the Brahminical priests, the descendants of Bhrigu, saw Vamanadeva to be like the sun rising nearby.
Okay, because of Vamanadev's pride effulgence, the priests allowed Bali Maharaj and all the members of the assembly were robbed of their splendor. Thus they began to ask one another whether the sun god himself said God. For the fire God has prepared come to see the sacrificial ceremony.
While the priests of Bhrigu dynasty and their disciples taught and argued in various ways, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vamandev, holding in his hands the rod, the umbrella, and the water pot full of water, entered the arena of Ashwamedha sacrifice.
Appearing as a Brahmana boy, wearing a belt of straw, a sacred thread, an upper garment of deerskin, and matted lock of hairs, Lord Vamandeva entered the arena of sacrifice. His brilliant effulgence diminished the brilliance of all the priests and their disciples, who thus stood from their seats and welcomed the Lord properly by offering obeisances.
Bali Maharaj, jubilant at seeing Lord Vamanadev, whose beautiful limbs contributed equally to the beauty of his entire body, offered him a seat with great satisfaction.
Thus, offering a proper reception to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always beautiful to the liberated souls, Bali Maharaj worshipped him by washing his lotus feet.
Lord Shiva, the best of demigods, who carries on his forehead the emblem of the moon, receives on his head with great devotion the Ganga's water emanating from the toe of Vishnu. Being aware of religious principles, Bali Maharaj knew this. Consequently, following in the footsteps of Lord Shiva, he also placed on his head the water that had washed the Lord Lotus feet.
Bali Maharaj then said to Lord Vamadev, O Brahmana, I offer you my hearty
hearty welcome and a respectful obeisances. Please let us know what we may do for you. We think of you as the personified austerity of the great Brahmana sages.
Text 30. O my Lord, because you have kindly arrived at our home, all my forefathers are satisfied, our family and entire dynasty have been sanctified, and the sacrifice we are performing is now complete because of your presence.
O son of Brahmana, today the fire of sacrifice is ablaze according to the injunction of the Shastra. And I have been freed from all the sinful reactions of my life by the water that has washed your lotus feet. O my Lord, by the touch of your small lotus feet, the entire surface of the world has been sanctified.
Son of a Brahmana, it appears that you have come here to ask me for something. Therefore, whatever you want, you may take from me. O best of those who are worshipable, you may take from me a cow, gold, a furnished house, palatable food and drink, the daughter of a Brahmana for your wife, prosperous villages, horses, elephants, chariots or whatever you desire.
So we're discussing the text 20th. Shrutava swamede yajamanan ma urjitam. Balim brigunam upakalpatestata. Jagama tatra akhila sara sambrito. Varena gamsannamayan pade pade. Shrutava swamede yajamanamurjitam. Balim brigunam upakalpatestata. Jagama tatra akhila sara sambrito. Varena gamsannamayan pade pade. One more time. Shrutava swamede yajamanamurjitam. Balim brigunam upakalpatestata. Jagama tatra akhila sara sambrito. Varena gamsannamayan pade pade. Um, Okay. I should just say. Okay. Shrutva, after hearing, Ashwamedhe, by Ashwamedha sacrifices, Yajamana,
The performer, Purjatam, very glorious, Brahmana, with the guidance of Brahmanas, Kalpita,
Translation. When the Lord heard that Bali Maharaj was performing Ashwamedha sacrifices under the patronage of Brahmanas belonging to the Bhrigu dynasty, the Supreme Lord, who is full in every respect, proceeded there to show his mercy to Bali Maharaj. By his weight, he pushed down the earth with every step. Purported by his divine grace, Srila Prabhupada. It's very small. Okay, you do.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Akhila Sar Sambhartha. In other words, he is a proprietor of everything essential in this material world. Thus, although the Lord was going to Bali Maharaj to beg something, he is always complete and has nothing to beg from anyone. Indeed, he is so powerful that In his full opulence, he pressed down the surface of earth at every step.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
So before just starting, I would like to give a little bit of summary of the translations we just read. So Vamandev has appeared in the assembly of Bali Maharaj, where he's doing his Ashwamedha sacrifices. And Bali Maharaj is from the dynasty of Brigus. So then he's doing it under the guidance of the Brigu Brahmanas. Right? And then Prabhupada says that Supreme Personality of Godhead is full in every respect. And he proceeded there to show Bali Maharaj's mercy. Actually, we'll come back to this point. So Vamanadev is there, and his effulgence is so much that all the Brahmanas who are sitting there of the Brigu dynasty, all this splendor is just like nothing in front of Supreme Personality of Godhead's effulgence. So Prabhupada says, because of Brahmanadev's bright effulgence, the priests, along with Bali Maharaj, and all the members of the assembly were robbed of their splendor. And they began to ask each other, who is this person? Who is this person who has arrived in the assembly? Is he a sun god? Is he a son of Kumara? Is it a fire god? Who is he? The effulgence is so much. He reflects divinity in him. Who is he? And as they were talking and arguing in various ways, so Prabhupada in the verse it's described the appearance of Vamanadev. So Vamanadev, maybe we can pull up a picture. So he's holding a rod in his hand, and then he has an umbrella over his head, and then he's also holding a pot. You know how Brahmanas usually have a pot in which they hold some water? So that's the pot that he has. And then he enters the arena. And yes, so he's wearing a straw belt, and he has a deer skin, he has matted locks, and then he has a dwarf-like body. And then I also explained that he has a kamandalu or a water pot in his hand, a stick, and then an umbrella over his head. So this is the way how Vamadev appeared on this planet. Okay. And then Bali Maharaj. Now this is where he incarnates, right? Now after this, when he goes to the assembly, Bali Maharaj is also very astonished to see such a great personality, because the effulgence is so much, the divinity is reflected in his presence. So Bali Maharaj, he offered prayers to him. He washed Vamanadev's feet, and then he took that water over his head. And Prabhupada explains in purport that it's the same way he offers respect to Vamanadev, the same way Lord Shiva respects the water of Ganges over his head. Why? Because that water of Ganga is coming from the lotus feet of Krishna. Yes. So Bali Maharaj, he follows the footstep of Lord Shiva, who is also a Mahajana, and he follows what a Mahajana did to offer respects to Vamanadev. So that's when he took the water that washed Vamanadev's feet over his head, and he feels himself to be liberated just by doing that, and he feels very blessed to be able to receive that mercy. And then he offers prayers like, you have kindly arrived at our home, and all my forefathers are satisfied. Who are his forefathers? The Brahmanas of Brigu dynasty. And all his family and dynasty has been sanctified. Right? And then he says, O Brahmana, I see that you're here to ask something of me. And then he says, ask me whatever you want. Ask me for a cow if you want. Ask me for gold, a house, food, drink, daughter of a Brahmana as your wife, or prosperity, just anything. Now he's talking more in the aspects of material things, because usually when a Brahmana approaches a princely king, that's what they beg for. They beg for things that can help them in their livelihood, right? But how would he have known what Vamanadev was coming to ask of him, which we will read in further chapters? 3 footsteps of land, right? Which is nothing, but we'll see what it is.
Devanshi Prabhu.
Yes.
I guess I misheard a word. So, Bali Maharaj was not from the dynasty of Bhrigu Muni. Those were the Brahmanas who were there. He was from the dynasty of Hiranyakashipu. The forefathers were Prahlad Maharaj.
He's a grandchild of
Prahlad Maharaj.
So Brahmanas were there, like Shukracharya and all. They were from Bhrigu dynasty.
The thing is, he was because his spiritual master was Shukracharya, who was from the dynasty of Bhrigus. Like, we are initiated in Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Now, it doesn't matter what our gotra or thing is. I mean, it does matter, but when we get initiated, we do not identify with this body. We become Gauriya Vaishnavas. So that's how he is initiated in that dynasty by Shukracharya, who was guiding him. I think that's the reason that he's saying that his forefathers are from Bhrigu dynasty.
His forefathers or the Brahmanas?
No, it's said here that he was performing sacrifice under the patronage of Brahmanas belonging to Bhrigu dynasty. So he was like the Brahmanas were performing the yajnas, they were from Bhrigu dynasty.
They were from Bhrigu dynasty.
So it said that.
Just a minor mistake by India. It's all right.
Okay. Not a big deal.
Because in text 30 also. Maybe I'm
No,
wrong.
that's not a minor mistake. That's an aparadh.
So maybe I'm wrong. I can check after and I can come back to you regarding that. Okay, so that was a little bit of a summary of what's going on in translations. So then, in text 20th, Prabhupada writes that Supreme Personality of Godhead is Akhila Sara Sambhava, which means he is the essence of all creation. And we discussed this verse some days back when Vivu was giving the class as well, which is Bhagavad Gita 10.8, in which Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samamata. So Krishna says, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. Okay? And we also know from Brahma Samhita, where Brahma says that he is the cause of, Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes, sarva karma karana. So we see that he's the source and also the cause of things. Right? Everything emanates from him, but also everything comes into being because he wants it to come into being. Right? Be it situations, be it people, be it anything. He is the source of everything and he's also the cause of why things happen. Right? Like the source of creation is Krishna. And he's the cause. Why? Because he wants to have his pastimes. He wants to just have his pastimes. That's why he created the world. And he wants to fulfill the desires of jivas to have full independence. That's how he creates the world, right? Now, the other point is, all of the seemingly good things or bad things that happen to devotees are part of his big plan, right? So, or his leelas, that we can say, right? So, like some of the examples that we've seen in last few days is Arjuna's petty weakness of heart. Arjuna is a liberated person. He's spent a lot of time with Krishna. He should not be having these doubts. But Krishna puts all these doubts in his heart so that he can say Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is the source of that weakness. And why? Because he wants to say Bhagavad Gita. That's the cause that he wants to satisfy from that thing that he gives to Arjuna. Weakness of heart. And then Parikshit Maharaj just lost his senses, right? By insulting a Brahmana. Now Parikshit Maharaj is a liberated person again, but he lost his senses. Why? Because Krishna wanted us to receive Bhagavatam. If that curse wouldn't have happened, then we would not receive this Bhagavatam. So there's always a cause of why things happen in devotee's life. Be it Prahlad Maharaj's troubles, right? He had to go through so many troubles. Why? Because Krishna wanted to liberate Jaya Vijaya, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And then he also wanted to glorify his devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. and other is that Lord Shiva becoming lusty to embrace Mohini. Now in this story, Krishna does that to show even the beauty of a woman or Maya can actually bewilder even the topmost of yogis, right? I mean, beauty of a woman is not exactly in relation with Maya. I don't know why I interchanged the words, but just that Maya can actually take over one's mind, even if he's a topmost yogi. Krishna wanted to exhibit that from the point of Lord Shiva. Okay. So Krishna is the one who facilitates everything, right? Now, Prabhupada says in the purport that Krishna is the proprietor of everything essential in this world, right? But we see that he's going to beg something from Bali Maharaj, right? But if he has everything, why does he need to beg? Now we need to understand the position of Krishna. Krishna holds all the 6 kinds of opulences we read in Bhakti Shastri some time ago, right? He is what? He has all strength, beauty,
riches,
power, renunciation,
knowledge,
fame, and knowledge. Okay. So he has all the 6 strengths, right? And he is powerful than the most powerful that you've ever met. Right? So when he's walking, just by his walking, he's pushing down the earth. Prabhupada says, Bharena gam sanamyam pade pade. He is pushing down the earth with his weight, with every step. Right? But we see him going back to Bali Maharaj. So why is that? Is he lacking some pieces of land that he has to go beg from Bali Maharaj, who was at that time king of all the 3 worlds? No. Prabhupada, I said, even if we see him begging, he is always complete and has nothing to beg from anyone. Like we see in Ishopanishad, we see a verse which says, Om Purnam Ada Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachite Purnasya Purnam Adaya Purnam Eva Vishishyate, which means he is perfect and complete in all respects. Even if jivas come out of him, he is still perfect, he is still complete. When jivas merge into him, he still remains the same. He is perfect in every aspect. And he's complete. So he doesn't need to ask for anything, right? So why does he ask charity from Bali Maharaj?
To bestow mercy.
Yes. You have to raise your hand, Prabhu. Yes.
To bestow mercy.
Okay.
To protect the demigods since they are in the service of the Lord, and to facilitate them all those services, and to fulfill Mother Aditi's the boon, the benediction that he gave.
Yes. Yes.
To deliver Bali Maharaj.
Yes. That was the point I was going to discuss. So Bali Maharaj is the devotee of the Lord, but he was very puffed up because of his material opulences. He got very puffed up. And so Krishna, without interrupting his attitude, he approached him in the form of a Brahmana who has every right to ask from Kshatriya. So Krishna, in no circumstances, likes a puffed up devotee. Like in every aspect, he doesn't like it. When it comes to Narad Maharaj's ego, when Narad Muni, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm so tired. So Narad Muni, when he asked for beauty, like Lord Vishnu's beauty to marry someone whom he liked a lot, right? Then Vishnu said, he gave him a form, right? But then he wanted to break his pride, so he gave him a form of a monkey. So he can go extremes when it comes to breaking the pride of devotees, right? So he came to shatter the false ego of Bali Maharaj. Right? Do you guys have any instances in your life when Krishna like came in and like crushed your ego?
No, like it happened many times, but I don't want to share it.
Yeah.
It crushed my ego, right?
See,
I've heard from a devotee that whenever you ask Krishna to make you humble, he'll send someone to insult you. So I had experience of where I asked Krishna or something like that, and then soon after, something or the other would happen where I'd have to be put that to the test, you know. And, so many times I've been crushed.
Yes. I'm not give specific example, but many times it happens. Like whenever I feel like there's something building up inside, Krishna will send something, do something, and then I realize, oh, I was doing this, and that's why this happened. So Lord Krishna's plan, and Krishna has his own ways in which he can, just put a pin, and then your outer ego will be.
I heard someone saying that whenever we have pride in ourselves, Krishna would do something that would shatter your ego like anything. Like he would give you a very funny fall down. Very funny fall down. Yeah, especially when you go to towns. Oh my god. The yatra that I went to last year, like there were a lot of instances where Krishna cut the pride like anything. But at the same time, he also empowers. So I experienced two kind of things. So first he would cut the ego like anything, like he would burn so much. But then he would empower in the next moment to like some kind of an equilibrium. Because whenever I pray to Krishna, like Krishna, please keep me humble, I always add the sentence, please be gentle. Because I've heard the stories of Nrsingadev. He makes you humble, but sometimes like the prayer, if it's not done right, or just by his mercy, it can be very harsh. So whenever you pray to Nrsingadev, please be careful in every word that you say to him, because he's listening so attentively. So Krishna doesn't like the pride of the devotees, so he breaks it like anything, and you'll get a very funny moment. Yes,
What part of pride doesn't Krishna like? Like I know we talked about Krishna doesn't like pride. What aspect of it does he not like?
He doesn't like the aspect in which where we become prideful to the point that we forget about him. Because he is a very jealous lover. Like if you forget him, he will be like, no, like how do you forget me, So he would want you to come back into your senses. So then he would play a funny prank on you or something, which sometimes can be very serious. In his eyes, it's a prank. But then he also reciprocates in a very nice manner. Maybe you had a point?
I forgot I had one line.
Okay.
I think I have an example from Shastras where Arjuna, you know how powerful Arjuna was, right? He kind of single-handedly won the whole battle of Kurukshetra. And then after the battle of Kurukshetra, like when Krishna departed, Arjuna, he encountered a battle with, someone living in the forest, someone like Adivasi. So then he fought with that Adivasi, and then Adivasi defeated Arjuna and then captured him. So then Arjuna was like, I'm the Arjuna, the greatest archer in this world, right? How can an Adivasi capture me? But then he realized that all that he had, all the power, all the strength that he had was because of Krishna. And because Krishna was not with him, he was able to be captured by an Adivasi also. So that is like he broke the pride of Arjuna there.
Yeah, even the same thing happened when Mahabharat's war ended. So then the chariot that Arjuna was driving was given to him by Agni, and the nice thing about the chariot was that it can be conquered from all directions, right? And Hanuman was there on the flag, Goddess of Fortune was there, and Krishna was there. At the end of the war, when it all ended, and they had to get off that chariot, Krishna asked Arjuna to get off first. You know? And then Arjuna says, "No, Parth, you should get off first." You know? I can't exactly remember the reason why he said that, but there was some tinge of pride in him when he said that. So then Krishna says, and then I think Krishna gets off it a little bit, and then something happens to the chariot, like it starts getting on fire or it breaks or something, and then Arjuna gets scared and he gets off first, and then when Krishna gets off the chariot, it burns to ashes. Yeah. So then, yes, and then so then Arjuna's pride was broken in that moment by Krishna. Arjuna was thinking that I am the one who's riding this chariot, I'm taking care of this chariot, you know. But then we see as soon as Krishna got off the chariot, it turned into ashes.
As per Mahabharata, right after the war, once the war was done, it's a ritual that the warriors, the team that wins, they go to the tents of those who lose, who get defeated. So Duryodhan had that mystic arrangement. As soon as their chariot comes, the chariot will burn to the ashes. So first, Hanuman leaves the chariot, and then Krishna leaves. Krishna asks Arjun to leave the chariot. Just because Krishna was present, that's why the chariot did not turn into ashes. But as soon as Krishna left, Krishna got off. It just turned into ashes, just because of the mystic arrangements that Duryodhan had for them already.
So yeah, that chariot, yeah, whatever arrangements Duryodhana had, it didn't work on that chariot until the time Krishna was there. Yeah. Okay, so we only have like 5 minutes left, and before ending, I think I wanted to discuss a very important point. So we see that Vaman Dev begged from Bali Maharaj, even though he was complete in himself. He only begged to benefit Bali Maharaj, to break down his pride, and to use the opulence that he has got in the service of Krishna, Vaman, right? Who else begged for the benefit of others, going door to door?
Lord Nityananda.
Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda. And he had absolutely no reason to go back door to door, only that he was ordered by his Lord to do so. There are pastimes of him going door to door begging, please chant the name of Krishna, please chant the name of Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Gaur Krishna, Shiksha. And he would lay down in front of the doors of the people of sorry? Yeah, he would lay on front of the houses and rolling down there, please one time chant the name of Krishna by holding a straw in his teeth. So he was the epitome of humility and humbleness. And then there is a bhajan. I wanted to discuss the lyrics of that bhajan, but I think we don't have enough time. But we can still discuss it a bit. It's called Akaroda Paramananda Nityananda. So I can start and pull it up. So it says, Lord Nityananda is never angry, for he is the personification of supreme transcendental bliss. Devoid of any concept of false ego, Nitai wanders about the town. Going from door to door in the residences of the most fallen and wretched souls, he freely distributes the gift of the Harinam Mahamantra. Adama Patita Jivare Dware Dware Giya. Harinam Mahamantra Dichya. He's saying by holding a straw between his teeth, please purchase me by worshipping Gaurahara. जारे देखे तारे कहे दांते त्रिकाधारी
हमारे किनिया लो बोलो गोरा हरी.
Like, to the point where because people know about Krishna, right? And the Karmi people, they would get agitated by seeing him talking about Krishna. So then he said, okay, you don't want to say Krishna, say Gaurahari, say Gaurahari. And that was his mercy, that was his love, that he's ready to give mercy even if people don't want it. You know? So he begged them to chant. Like the pastime of Jagai and Madai. That pastime, every time I read it, it gives me so much hope. So much hope that it doesn't matter what all we've done before coming to Krishna consciousness, but we have the chance and we have a hope that if we fall down, if we take shelter to the feet of Nitai, there's hope. There's hope for us to go back to Godhead, right? And Gaur Purnima is coming. Gaur Purnima is coming in Mahaprabhu, his topmost associate was Nityananda. If there was anything that was good, anything that would happen to Nityananda, Mahaprabhu would be so agitated. It was like, Nitai, oh my Nitai, right? Like the Passion of Jagai Nitai, you know, Lord Nityananda was so merciful on those two rascals. I mean, they were drinking wine all day, they were raping women, they were doing all kinds of nonsense. Where Lord Nityananda said, if they can be Krishna conscious, if they can chant the names of the Lord, they can chant the names of the Lord, then my birth is fulfilled. Like he's so humble, you know. And then when I think Jagai breaks a bottle of wine and he hits Nityananda, Gauranga gets very angry. He brings out the chakra and he wants to rip their heads off, you know. And then Nitai holds Gauranga, says, no, if you kill them, you will have to kill all the people in this age of Kali, because all of them has propensities like this. So you need to forgive. Our birth here in this pastime is for forgiveness, not of killing the demons. We are not killing the sinner, we are killing the sin in this incarnation, right? So then he was begging them to chant the names of Hari, and after they did got the mercy of Gauranga, right? So without the mercy of Nityananda, getting the mercy of Gauranga, it's not possible. So please take shelter of Gauranga, take shelter of Nityananda, and then in return you get the lotus feet of Gauranga. Other than that, there's one more person who begged people to chant. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. He is the Senapati Bhakta who came to deliver all the conditioned souls in this world. I know, so when he was in San Francisco, when he first came to, I think he landed in San Francisco, right? No, Boston. Where? Boston? Okay. Some American country. States. Okay. And then he didn't know which direction he has to go, because he came with no plan. Like he had a plan, but he didn't have any fixed plan of what he was going to do. So then he was chanting in the park, Thompson Square's park. He was chanting in that park, and he would just do it on kartas, and that's how the holy names were so powerful coming from his mouth. You know, the potency was so much, because he's a Nitya Siddha, the potency was so much that it attracted the people. And he also begged them to chant, you know, and the compassion that he showed to the souls is so much. How one time when he was in what's that place? Matchless Gifts, the address of that place. 22nd Avenue Street. Howard Street is also 22nd Avenue.
22nd Avenue.
Anyway, so one time there was one of the person from his gathering was leaving from his gathering. You know, he was like, I don't want Krishna consciousness, I'm leaving. Prabhupada, he was standing on the door. He had tear in his eyes, and he was saying, please don't go. Please don't go, because he knew how much suffering there is outside if you don't take the names of Krishna. And this was shared by Brihad on Prabhupada's disappearance day, and it really stuck with me from that day. Prabhupada was like, please don't go. So that's the compassion that Prabhupada has. That's the compassion Nityananda has. And that's the point that I would like to end this class with. Please take shelter of Prabhupada, please take shelter of Nityananda, because without that, lotus feet of Gauranga is too far to reach. And that Radha Krishna, too far. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any questions? Although we have to go for Bhakti Shastras, if there's any questions, we can discuss it on the breakfast table. Hare Krishna.